class, this video is here to guide you on your medical research presentations. You'll be completing 2 of these over the semester, and so I wanted to highlight some key things to you, but of course that does not substitute you going and reading through all of the instructions that I have provided for you. These are the documents that we have. We have the actual presentation. We have the rubric that you will use to grade 2 of your peers. We have a template that I have provided for you, and we have your team. So let's start off by looking at the full directions. Ultimately, your goal for this project is you are going to give a small overview of the organ system that you've selected. So for the first round, it's chapters 3 through 7, and for the second round, it's chapters 8 through 13. And you will sign up on your team for which chapter you want to do, and basically the chapters associated with an organ system. And you will start your presentation by giving us an overview of that organ system. The next component of your presentation you'll be discussing a medical research article. First, it's very important that you understand what a medical research article is and that information can be found here. You need to select an article where they have done an experiment, a case study, a meta-analysis. Any of those things would be fine. What would not be acceptable is something from the Mayo Clinic, an overview of a disease, an overview of a pathology. This is about you doing research and you discussing that research that you found. The next component of your presentation is you are going to select 15 terms. You can select them from your journal article, or you can select them from the textbook associated with that organ system, and you're going to pronounce those for us. Ultimately, some really key things, mistakes that students make. You are doing a PowerPoint presentation. You are narrating this PowerPoint presentation through the narration feature in PowerPoint. Why is that? Because when you do a video, it will be extremely hard for your peers to grade it because the peers are going to want to stop your presentation and be able to go slide by slide. Second, it's very important that you provide us absolutely no links. It happens more often than not. Students use a OneDrive link or they use a Google Drive link and they don't realize they've used a personal link. No one can access their work. It can't be opened. The content is being blocked, whatever it may be. So just absolutely no links. Okay. When you are pronouncing your terms, it is important that you only pronounce the term. Do not tell us the definition or any of that stuff. That information will actually be on your slide. Okay. So let's look at that example. So here is this template that I provided you. You can use any PowerPoint presentation that you want. This is only for an example of what your presentation should look like. So obviously you're going to have your chapter, the organ system that you're discussing, and you're going to give us an overview of the organ system. This can be a couple of slides, and that's just fine. You are going to give us the title of your article, tell us about the research, provide us with the details of the study, include data points if they're relevant. Remember, this presentation should be clean and professional, so you don't want to throw a bunch of stuff up there. You want to make sure that you're presenting the synopsis of this research. You are then going to include, I said APA citation here. You can use any type of citation. What you cannot do is just link to the article. That is not going to be acceptable, and a link is not a citation. Okay? And then you are going to give us the results and give us the conclusion. Now, for your pronunciations, this is exactly what your pronunciation slides should look like. So, here's example. You are going to tell us the term. You're going to tell us the prefix and the definition, the root and the definition, and the suffix and the definition. You're going to provide the phonetic pronunciation and then give us the definition of the term. Okay? So, here is my example. And you want to provide all this information. Another mistake students often make is your textbook won't necessarily say this is a prefix, a root, a suffix. Many terms you select could have 2 roots, a prefix and 2 roots, just 2 roots. All of those combos are possible. So it's important that you deconstruct these words correctly. You will be graded on how well you deconstruct these words. Now let's go to the second piece, which is actually the peer rubric. So I have a component part of this rubric, and it will be in your discussion board. So when I grade you, you will see a rubric for that. When peers grade you, you will grade 2 of your peers in your team. Try to select a peer who hasn't been graded, and you're going to go over all of this information. You can use the highlighter function to highlight which one you're selecting. You need to support your selection with feedback, and I'm giving you information on that. In addition, here's some information and some questions posed about the research article. And then here we have your grading on their pronunciation. And so you are checking their pronunciation slides to ensure that the slides are formatted correctly, that everything is spelled correctly, deconstructed, pronounced, right? So here's an example of someone who did not do that successfully. And the comments of what is incorrect, which is the other key piece. So that is your research article, and here you will find your team, so go sign up for a chapter.